My beloved brothers and sisters, today I want to talk to you about something that we all struggle with at different points in our lives: the seasons we go through and the importance of trusting God's timing and purpose. Just as the earth goes through different seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter, so do our lives. There are seasons of joy and abundance, where everything seems to be going well, and there are seasons of hardship and waiting, where we feel lost, confused, or even abandoned. But I want to remind you today that every season has a purpose. God is with you in every season of your life, and He is working all things together for your good. Ecclesiastes 3 verses 1-2 tells us, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted." This passage reminds us that God has ordained every season of our lives, and He knows exactly what He is doing, even when we don't. We often want to rush through the difficult seasons, don't we? We want to skip over the waiting, the pain, the uncertainty, and move straight to the blessings. But God's timing is perfect, and His ways are higher than our ways. Isaiah 55 verses 8-9. What we see as delays or setbacks, God sees as opportunities for growth and preparation. Let me tell you a story about David, the shepherd boy who became king. David was anointed by the prophet Samuel to be king of Israel when he was just a young boy. But he didn't become king right away. No, David spent years tending sheep, fighting battles, and running for his life from King Saul, who was jealous of him. David went through a long season of waiting, hardship, and uncertainty. But through it all, David trusted God's timing. He knew that if God had promised something, He would fulfill it in His perfect time. David wrote in Psalm 27 verse 14, "Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord." David understood that waiting on God is not a passive activity. It's an active trust in God's faithfulness. It's about believing that God is working behind the scenes, even when we can't see it. So, what do we do when we find ourselves in a difficult season? How do we trust God when everything around us seems to be falling apart? 1. Remember God's faithfulness. Think back on all the times God has been there for you in the past. Remember the times He has provided for you, healed you, comforted you, and guided you. Let those memories fuel your faith and remind you that God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Hebrews 13 verse 8. 2. Seek God's presence. In every season, but especially in the difficult ones, we need to draw closer to God. Spend time in prayer, read His Word, and worship Him. God's presence brings peace, comfort, and strength. He promises to be with us always, even to the end of the age. Matthew 28 verse 20. 3. Embrace the process. God often uses difficult seasons to refine us, shape our character, and prepare us for what's ahead. Don't resist the process. Embrace it. Ask God what He wants to teach you in this season, and be open to His leading. Remember, the process is not punishment. It's preparation. 4. Trust God's plan. Even when you don't understand what God is doing, trust that He has a plan for you, a plan to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. God sees the bigger picture, and He knows what is best for you. Trust that His timing is perfect and that He is working all things together for your good. Romans 8 verse 28. 5. Keep moving forward. Don't give up. Keep pressing on, even when the road is tough. God has given you everything you need to endure and overcome. He has placed His Spirit within you, and He has promised to never leave you nor forsake you. Deuteronomy 31 verse 6. You are stronger than you think, and with God's help, you can rise above any challenge. My friends, I want to encourage you today to embrace your season. Whether you are in a season of joy or sorrow, abundance or lack, peace or turmoil, know that God is with you. He is for you, and He is working in your life. Trust His timing, embrace His process, and hold on to His promises. Remember, every season has a purpose. You may not understand it now, but one day you will look back and see how God was working all things together for your good. So, be strong, take heart, and wait for the Lord. He is faithful, and He will do it. May God bless you, guide you, and strengthen you as you trust in His perfect timing and purpose. Amen.